Guess it's time to start because it got quiet. Good evening and welcome to the board meeting of the Weber School District tonight. We need to excuse board member Dean Oborn, who's not with us tonight. We will miss him, but recognize that he's not with us. Now, before we start our board meetings, before COVID gets shut down again, we need to enjoy this moment because we've got the Freedom Overture, the Chamber Orchestra from Bonneville High, and Chance is going to introduce the group, after which they do their musical number. We will have the Pledge of Allegiance done by Adam Thomas. So please, let's hear it for Bonneville Freedom Overture.
Hi, you guys. We are super excited to be here with you guys tonight. Sadly, our teacher could not be here with us. I'd like to introduce our Bonneville High School Chamber Orchestra. As he said, my name is Chance. This is Caleb McCool. He is one of our violinists. This is Elena Olin. She is one of our other violinists. This is Carson Anderson. He is one of our violists. This is Adam Thomas. He plays the upright bass and contributes to many of our other music programs. This is Matthew Hunt. He plays our piano. This is Madeline Halbritter. She plays the cello. This is Rachel Wallace. She plays the cello as well. And Haley Cheshire, and she also plays the cello. Tonight we are going to be playing for you Freedom Overture, which is a medley of songs that are very familiar to those of veterans. It is missing a couple of our armed forces, which we are a little upset about, but we hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Please repeat the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Adam, don't leave. Okay, while the superintendent shakes your hand and says thank you, I'd like you to go around the room. Chance, introduce yourself again. Tell us what grade you're in and what you're going to do with your performing arts that you just showed off, because that was friggin' amazing. And you did it without an instructor because you are the Bonneville Lakers. Please.
My name is Chance Felker. I'm a senior at Bonneville High School. After high school, I will be continuing at UVU with a major in forensic science and a minor in music.
I'm Kevin McCool. I am a junior at Bonneville, and I plan on majoring in computer science and minoring in
I'm Elena Olin. I'm a senior at Bonneville. I'm planning on going to Dental Hygiene University, and I plan on doing music there also.
Hello. Hi, I'm Carson Anderson. I'm a senior over at Bonneville, and I plan on going to business over Utah State. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matthew Hunt, and I'm a junior at Bonneville High School, and I plan to become a concert pianist, starting with at Weber and maybe going to Snow for my bachelor's and master's degree.
Wow.
My name's Adam Thomas. I plan on pursuing legislative politics, minoring in music through my college years.
Hi, I'm Madeline Halbritter, and right now I don't have as big of a plan as everybody else, but I am planning to audition on the cello at multiple colleges, so I'm currently prepping for that.
I'm Rachel Wallace. I'm a sophomore, and I have no clue what I want to do.
I'm Haley Cheshire. I'm a senior, and I'm interested in photography, but yeah.
That's great.
That was absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to do one thing that I've normally never done, Superintendent. I hope you're all right and board. Would you guys play that one more time for us, please?
Wow. Yeah.
hear more of that. Thank you very much. Do we have any active vets or active military or veterans other than service folks that are with us? Navy works. We got an officer with us. But again, we could use more here of that in a time when our country needs that. Thank you very much. You guys can now go ahead and leave. Thank you. We'll give you extra credit. Those who have come to watch them are more than welcome to leave as well, but you're going to miss a good meeting. Board, while they're leaving, if I could entertain a motion to accept the consent calendar. So moved by Doug, second by Bruce. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much. The second fun part of this night would be the recognition of the Orion High Math Department on an E+ Team Award. Mr. Clyde Moore, please.
President Ritchie, Superintendent, Board, it's an honor for me to have this opportunity to recognize a special group of educators from our district tonight. I would like to introduce them as I get to giving them some good compliments here. I'm gonna invite them to come up and stand by me because I need them close. And when I call your name, just kind of do a wave so they can identify who's who. Okay, J.C. Johnson, Mark Welch, Cherie Weesey, Carolyn Robertson, Naomi Parrish, Leah Harrell, Janessa Richardson, Sheila Rush, and Chris Archuleta. Board, I just want you to know that this is a superstar group of teachers. They're not normal teachers, I don't think, because I was talking to their principal, Mr. Patterson, who I'm going to give an opportunity to make some comments here in a minute, and he just raved about this group and the great things they're doing at Orion and how they're making sure that every kid in their class is learning math. I had an opportunity to go out and introduce myself to them, and I can't tell you how much synergy I felt just walking from room to room in that hallway. The kid was engaged, teacher was up teaching, kid was asking questions. As I walked up and introduced myself to the teacher, kind of interrupted her instruction there for a minute, felt bad about that. A couple of students looked at me and said, "I love this class." And to me, that struck a nerve because we're talking about a math class. Right? So it's not some elective class that all kids want to take. This is a math class. But I could see the environment felt warm, it felt welcoming, it felt safe for students to take chances. And so when I go through some of these slides here in a minute, you're going to see that. The kids in these teachers' classes are not afraid to get it wrong, to try again, and to take a chance. And I think these teachers have created that environment in their class because they build a great relationship with the students. I think we all have heard that students don't really care how much teachers know until they know that teachers care. And it was great examples in these classrooms that I went and walked through the other day. I'm going to share some comments from the students that was given on each teacher. This is on Chris Archuleta. I like the first one. He said he's very nice and friendly. He's good at teaching and helping people with math. The way that he shows us make it math easy. And then the last one, he make what we learn easier to understand. That was pretty common throughout some of these comments. This is Leah and Sheila in their classroom together. I'm gonna ask them to kind of, when I got the slide, I was kind of reading the PowerPoint they had up. Can you kind of talk to us about that activity a little bit?
So this was right before break, and we were working on proportions. And so we made this activity They were the top ranked at the North Pole.
But so you can see, board, that they make learning fun. And for me, the little bit of math that I learned, it needed to be fun for me, or I didn't enjoy it. I'll be honest about it. And I think the majority of the students in our schools kind of like me. And so there's a few that love math, but most of them it needed to be fun, and they needed to see how it applied to everyday life. And I think that's a skill, and that's one of the things that a strategy that all of these teachers uses, and that's why the kids really enjoy their classes. I share a couple of comments on Leah and Sheila from their students. They come up with fun things that help us remember, like sorting or doing the fish method. We weren't asked about that one. So we had them talk about the F, so we'll move on. And this is the one I thought was interesting. We get a video to watch if people didn't watch it the day before. She helped them understand what happens. And that's from a student in the 7th grade. And this is a co-taught class, am I right? And one of the things that I noticed when I walked into their class the other day was that both teachers was instructing. And from my experience as a teacher and as an administrator, in most co-taught classes, only one teacher is instructing, and one is kind of patrolling or doing crowd control or whatever you want to call it. When I walked into this class the other day, both teachers was on their knees by a student desk, working with a student on a problem. And that's the way it should be. But I also believe that for that to happen, these two teachers or two team members have to have a good relationship. Because I know teachers are very territorial. And this is my class, and you just come in and watch me teach. Could be a lot of the approach a lot of the time. That's not the case with these two. They work well together. They share the load. JC, she said it again, she makes it so easy to learn and good at pace. And I think that's critical in math. I was over the break, my daughter, who's a teacher now, and my son-in-law, they kind of get into a battle back and forth on who was the best student in school. They graduated the same year. And my son-in-law made a comment about his math teacher, and he said, she was a good teacher, but if you didn't get it, she moved on. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes math teachers can make, because they get caught up in, I got to cover this material, and not, I got to make sure my kids are getting it before I move on. This whole team is good at that. And you're going to see it in some of these comments. They don't move on until they know their kids is learning. Another comment says she make the lesson engaging by making sure she asks us questions so we can answer. And if we don't get the question correct, she would do another example and explain it step by step. And I think that's critical. She always asks if any of us need help with anything. Again, those relationships. Naomi, she's a good teacher, and she knows math so well. I love her so much as a teacher. I think that word love is very powerful there. She allows us to watch videos of the assignment to allow us to slow or speed up what we don't know. And then another one, I like that last one, which I think is very important in any classroom. This is an inviting classroom. And I saw that. I was out there on a class change. And probably more, again, in math than any other subject, if a kid don't really like it, they kind of linger, because they don't really want to go in there. That's from my experience as a student and as a teacher and an administrator. When that bell rang the other day when I was out there, every kid went and got in a seat. There was not a lingering kid in the hallway, which told me they want to be there. They enjoy being there. And that's when I saw that comment, I thought, okay, that's what I witnessed. Janessa, she's very helpful, and she explained things well. She asked if we need help and what we can do. She helped, and when she do, she helped us. I like that last one. She explained it in multiple ways until everyone gets it. Again, not moving on until everyone has gotten it. Carolyn, again, she make math lessons fun. I look forward to going to math every day. Kind of the statement I just made. She always joked with us, and instead of getting, I like this one, instead of getting mad, She nicely asked us to be quiet and pay attention. Okay. But that last one there, I think, is critical for any teacher, but probably especially for math. She is nice and very patient with everyone in the class. Thought that was a great compliment. Mark. Mark was probably the last room that I got to go in and visit. And Mark, the kid was just surrounding Mark. And I can tell Mark had fun in his classroom with his kids because they was in there just having a blast and getting ready to go to work as they came in the classroom. He said if someone is struggling with a subject, he would take the time and make sure they get the time they need. If it is more than one person, he will just do it in front of the class. But if it's just one person, he will personally take the time to call them back and help them and not hold the whole class back. This is what I meant by having fun. He jokes around with us in a way that actually makes it easier to understand. He is real and funny. He makes the class so enjoyable to be in, and always is super caring if I'm not understanding something. Again, making sure the kids are learning. Sherry, I like this one. It says she used hands-on activities and find a way to make it into a game involving math. She always believed in me. I think that's pretty special. She's the kindest teacher to me. She is the kindest teacher to me in my whole class, and she is so willing to help, and she is caring. Again, building a relationship, and I could see that, I could feel that when I was out visiting the other day. Mr. Patterson, you want to come up and give her a comment?
No, I'm actually gonna try to hold back some emotion here. This is an amazing team. You can tell from the comments, but I think the one thing I wanted to share is that these guys will go into battle for each other more than anybody I've ever seen. It doesn't matter if one is ill or struggling with something, or it's a lesson they're trying to work from, or they're diving in with data and they're trying to support each other in a lesson, or working with a kid that's struggling. They are all in. And we talk about PLC time, or time to collaborate. It doesn't matter what time of day, night, weekends, holidays, they collaborate. They are on a. I would love to see the text thread, because they have a group text, and it's constant. Collaboration exists any chance they get. It's because they believe in each other and they believe in the kids. I guarantee I could ask every single one of them about all of their 180 to 200 kids where they are at in their learning journey, and they will know exactly where they're at on that learning journey, because they care about them so deeply, and they give their heart and soul to making sure that they learn math, and the kids know it and believe it. They're rock stars, and I can't say enough about them. So, thank you guys.
Matt, Mr. Patterson touched on it. This group, if you know me, I'm a believer in PLC, because I think that's the foundation of student learning. You can identify where kids are at, you identify what they're learning, you go back and make sure they're getting it, you know what to do when they don't get it. With a good solid foundation of PLC, all kids are going to succeed and reach their potential. And when I walked out and I told Matt, I said, that's a PLC right there. That's a living, active PLC in every sense of the word. Like Matt said, I guarantee you they're looking at student data. They know what they're learning, what they're not learning, and then they have a process to make sure they learn it. And to me, that's key. I was really, really impressed. I want to share a couple of comments. One thing that I do know, if you walk into a school and you want to find out something about that school, just go to the head secretary, because they know everything, right? And so I got a comment from the head secretary. She said, as secretary in the school, I hear students expressing their feeling about teachers at Orion. As the students have talked, it's been fun to hear them tell how much each of our teachers in the math department have helped them understand math concept and feel successful in math. And she said, last but not least, they all understand math and teach it in a way that students can understand. And I think, okay, I'm on to something. Matt's on to something. You guys on to something, because if the head secretary is making that comment, it's true. And the one thing that I know, the head secretary have a lot of opportunities to hear a conversation of kids. Because when they're in the office, being office aide, they're talking. And I have walked by, and when I was in the principal, and they would be working on homework sometime when they had some downtime, and I go, "How you like that class?" And they would tell me everything about that class and about that teacher. So this is a true statement. Another comment I want to share with you is from the option aide, and she said, I don't know if she just went on to talk about an option aide is one that helps struggling students, and she said that this is the best group of teachers that she ever worked with, is making sure kids learn it, and if they don't, working with kids until they learn it. And that's coming from someone that worked with struggling students. And I thought that was very powerful as well. So board, it's an honor for me to share these guys tonight with the board and with those that are in attendance, and brag on them a little bit, because we probably don't do that enough for our teachers. And I enjoyed every opportunity I get, and I enjoyed my visit out with them the other day. And I mean, it made me want to send Matt to the district office and I stay out and be a principal for a little bit again. So, but no, I really do. I saw something special with this group, and I'm gonna encourage them to keep that up. So, thank you, board. Okay. I asked them to bring a guest, and so I'm gonna give them time now to introduce their guests. Okay, so we'll start with you, Chris. Okay. Okay. We'll just go on the line. Go ahead.
I got my mom, my dad here, and then my wife and my daughter with us.
Wonderful.
I have two girls in there, volleyball practice.
Right, right.
My husband's back there. Also, Mark's wife. Nice hot. I lost my dog at home. Megan's here with me.
Okay.
I brought my best cheerleaders, Shelby and Wyatt, my two kids.
Well, it's an honor. Thank you guys for being here and supporting these guys through their careers and jobs. So, but anyway, it was an honor for me to recognize you tonight. Thank you. We need you to
let's
go
get
over and get your.
Yeah. Give him a hand.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on, we gotta get a picture. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Fantastic. We gotta get a picture. That's Chrissy Cox. She's over there. She's over there. She's coming. Sherry.
Go. They want to get a picture.
Yeah, Chris, if you want to get a picture, you're more than welcome. Just move wherever you want.
Okay. Right here. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations. That's so wonderful, you guys. What a tribute to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great job. Grateful to have you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
That's fantastic. Nice job, Clyde and Matt. Thank you very much. Our next recognition is going to be the Extra Mile Award. Mr. Scott Zelmer, please.
Superintendent Stevens, President Ritchie Board. I come here and stand in front of you, and I know some of you every time think, how is that guy still here? And it's because of the people who win the Extra Mile Award, that people like me get to come here and do this thing. So Chrissy Cotter is I'm going to use the word secretary now, only because that's what her title says. Chris, if you come up here, while she's coming up, I want every administrator in the room who has been carried by Mrs. Cotter, raise your hand and say, this person got me through whatever I was doing, because
My pleasure.
Chrissy's been a secretary in our district for a long time. Bonneville, Fremont, and then here, North Junior, lots and lots of places. And so there's a whole bunch of us who recognize that we stand here because of people like her. And it's not often that folks out in the hinterlands, they say we're in the district office, but we're really kind of hidden down there on 12th Street, where if we make too many, if we say the wrong thing, not everybody hears it. So we're trying real hard to make you proud. And the way that we do that is with people like Chrissy. I want to make it clear that we call her a secretary, but that word doesn't do justice to what she does every day. I don't have a good word for it. Administrative assistant's the closest thing I can think of, because, and I'm going to read some things. I've asked some folks, I'm the guy that put her in, right? So I don't want to just tell you all the stuff that I said. So I've asked some other people to give me some feedback on what it's like to work with Chrissy. I know what it's like to work with her every day, but maybe I'm tainted, but I'm really not. So I just want to read a couple of the things that have been said. Will you give me the next couple, one more? So Gina Butters, our executive director of secondary, said Chrissy is truly the prototype of what an administrative assistant should be. See, use that word, because that's really what she is. She's efficient and very hardworking, anticipates what is needed and effectively responds, supports all individuals on the team in their individual roles and understands what their roles entail, conveys that she is ready and willing to help at all times, and validates those around her with her friendly demeanor and direct communication style. She's funny, engaging, and friendly. She works tirelessly behind the scenes on the critical details related to assignments and projects. Chrissy's a consummate professional and a team player. Chrissy has your back. All is good with the world. You don't know how much that means to me, because that's really what it's like. The way that people come to my office is kind of behind the wall, and people have a long walk across lots of things to get to me. And it never fails that before I know who it is before they get there, because she's called them by name. She's engaging them. They're both laughing before they get to me, because that's the kind of person she is. That's the way she interacts with people. And it makes coming to the facilities and operations department easy. She comes and she makes everybody feel welcome. Cody Barnes, most of you know Cody. He's our maintenance supervisor. Chrissy's is our go-to person when we need to find information on one of our buildings or properties. Her organizational skills and knowledge are invaluable to our facilities improvement mission. If people have a question about something to do with our facilities, we know who to call. You don't call Scott, you call Chrissy. She'll either have the answer, or we'll be able to get the answer for you, usually before you get off the phone. She's an invaluable asset to our department. The knowledge that she has developed is going to make it much easier for this department to continue on as things change. Future will change, and it will be smooth because Chrissy's going to be there. and that means a ton to me. Rob Birches works for Hogan Construction, so he's in the construction world. And he said, when I talked to him, he said, can I say something? And so he said, I've worked with Chrissy for several years on various projects. I've always been impressed with her dedication and strong work ethic. Her positive and can-do attitude is energetic and contagious. It has inspired me personally. I've always felt welcome and appreciated whenever I interact with Chrissy. It truly doesn't get any better than Chrissy. That's what the public that we interact with every day says when they come to my office. One more. Boyd Harris is our custodial supervisor. When I think of a professional secretary, I think of people like Chrissy Cotter. Everything about Chrissy is professional. She's one of those individuals who just inherently understands what her job is and works to make it happen. And I love this line because this is the truth. I've always thought of her as the radar from MASH. If you remember radar, of Weber School District. She often knows what needs to be done before anyone else knows, and she takes care of it. It's a pleasure to work with intelligent people like Chrissy. I just need to say that there are a lot of people out there who do the job that Chrissy does. But I don't know anybody who does it the way Chrissy does. I have experienced it for the last 6 years, and I can't be more grateful because this is a team that has been successful not because of me, but because of the person who's been carrying me the whole time. I'm grateful to her, and I can't say that enough. Board, this is your Extra Mile Award winner, and I promised her that if she didn't introduce her husband, I would make her, so she'll have to do that, because I forgot my wife when I got this job, so I said, don't do that, okay? But will you do one more slide? I wanted to, I'm not great at Facebook stalking, but my wife really is, and so we worked together, and we're able to find a couple of things that kind of represent who Chrissy is. The waste management, she's a golfer, and she got to go to the waste management. I was going to put the picture of her with Tony Finau, but I thought that might have changed his PIP numbers and might give him some more cash or something. So we didn't do that. And then I think the two most important things in her world are there with her. So, Chrissy, thank you for all you do. Board, our Extra Mile Award winner, Chrissy Cotter.
That was really surprising. So thank you for your kind words, and the committee, thank you. Scott, thank you for allowing me to have this honor. I truly love my job. And this position, I've learned things. I mean, the school district is so much more than the classrooms. It's been really awesome, and Scott's been really, really, really good to include me because I'm learning, and I think we make a really good team because of that. So again, thank you all. This is my husband Dave. I almost forgot. He probably would have appreciated it, but anyway, thank you, board, and Scott, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Come on up.
That empty box duties is important, Robert. Thank you. I hope it doesn't stay in there. It goes right on your desk or your shelf, Chrissy. Nice job, Scott. We now have a presentation board at School Counseling Program. Ms. Carla Porter, please.
Superintendent Stevens and board, we're excited tonight to share some information with you about our school counseling program. But before Joanna is going to present that, I wanted to take a minute to talk to you and give a big shout out to our counselors, and I'll probably get teary too. I know that we all know the importance of a school counselor in our schools. We know what they do and we know they're important, but I don't think we really understood until the last couple of years the significant impact that they make in the lives of our students on their emotional well-being, whether they could even attend school or not. So Joanna, when she presents tonight, she's going to show you all those details and the different things and assignments that counselors have, but you can't measure those day-to-day interactions, those one-on-one conversations with counselors have with our students. That human touch, we don't have data for those kinds of things. And so I want you, as you're looking at what Joanna presents tonight, the most important things that our counselors do, you can't measure. And they have been tremendous. So when you see them, when you're out and about in schools, please give a shout out and tell them thank you. It's been tough on everyone, but those counselors with this whole mental health issue that we've had in our schools with the things that have happened the last couple of years, they've carried a lot, and we are so grateful to them for the things that aren't presented, for those human interactions. So Joanna, come on up here for a minute. Joanna's new to us. Each of our coordinators has a specific assignment, and Joanna is over our school counseling program. She's new to us, but not new to the profession, and she's incredible and delightful. She's a brilliant woman as well, and so we have enjoyed her so much. I've asked her to tell you a little bit about herself so you'd get to know her a little bit more, and I'll turn the time over to Joanna.
Thank you, Dr. Stevens, President Ritchie, and school board. Thank you for allowing me to tell you about my job and my passion. I love being a counselor. So I did 10 years at Sunset Elementary, 5 years at West Point Junior High, 2 at Northridge High, and then I came over as the Weber online counselor at the end of last year. I also helped out a little with adult ed, and then this job as a student services coordinator came open, and it's just been amazing. I love what I do. And about 7 years ago, I was cleaning out my childhood home, my parents' home, and I found an interest inventory that you take, as part of the ACT. And I remember 2 of the 3 of my top picks from that, because one, it was undertaker, mortician, and the other was clergy. And then the third one, which I did not remember, it was guidance counselor. And I thought, oh my goodness, I guess that's why I didn't hear from the convent. But this is my calling. It's what I like to tell myself. But I thought, wow, that is something. So as I was doing CCRs, I'd always tell kids that, like just explore things, try things. It is my passion. I do it, like, I've been known to do it at the grocery store, on an airplane. My husband's a pilot, so when people ask us what we do, they're fascinated. He used to fly F-16s, and my comment always is, well, it's no school counselor. They still want to talk to him more. That's okay. So an overview and some statistics of what we do. Elementary. So here in Weber School District, we have 29 traditional elementary schools. Weber Online, which came online fully last year, and then Canyon View Elementary, which serves our special needs students. Right? We serve 17,134 elementary students. We have 28 full-time 28 elementary counselors, 21 full-time, 7 half-time. We have a full-time counselor in every Title I elementary school except for municipal, and that's due to their smaller size. All schools have an assigned counselor, and 22 of our schools have a counseling aide to assist in K through 3 delivering some lessons. So, which brings me to the next slide, which is an overview of what a lot of the things elementary counselors do. So, one of the main things is those classroom lessons, teaching in the class, going into every classroom, and they do guidance curriculum. So, it's basically social skills and life skills. And I always tell kids, you know, when you go out there and grow up, you've got to learn to play nice with others. So, teaching those skills that I even as in high school, is it kind, helpful, or necessary? If not, it shouldn't come out of your mouth. You know, is it tattling or is it reporting? So these, you know, just these things, thinking win-win. I mean, yes, so it really carries over. They do individual and small group counseling, referrals for long-term support and mental health. You know, I always tell them we're a support here in the school. Sometimes kids are going to need more than that. Behavioral support and intervention, so working with those teachers to come up with some different ideas and ways to help all our students be successful and have a good experience. Collaborate with families, teachers, administrators for that student success. And of course, the word we all love, data analysis. So they identify students and school needs to create effective data projects as part of the school improvement plan. So they'll use those SOAR reports, Panorama, and I knew I'd forget the third one, SHARP, thank you, SHARP survey, to help be more effective. So using those tools effectively, they work to improve equity and access, achievement, and opportunities for all students. Along with crisis response. And a new thing we have in every elementary, so they're now in every elementary, is a Hope Squad, right? And those are students that are really the goodwill ambassadors. You know, like Mr. Rogers would always say, look for the helper. That's that student, the one that's going to be a friend, you know, or at least go and tell somebody, hey, this kid's looking a little sad. Like, they are the eyes and ears and kind of the pulse, and they're just to be a kind goodwill ambassador. Okay, so our secondary, we have 53 full-time counselors, 3 part-time counselors, and of course our full-time online counselor. We serve 17,185 secondary students, and that includes our students that are in adult education, which is the next one. We have 2 full-time adult education counselors this year. So last year, there was 1 full-time adult education counselor, and that was our COVID year. Prior to last year, adult education had 40 graduates. Last year, and remember it was COVID, they had 130 graduates. So their goal this year is to, at the very least, double that. I thought that is really just they're doing such great things and continuing. I think we always could strive to do well. Our counselor ratio is 350 to 1, which is right where ASCA, the American School Counselor Association, like recommends, which is amazing. And then what the secondary counselors, their role, so they do academic planning and goal setting, plan with parents, students for college and career awareness, post-high school planning and lessons. They go into those classrooms, short-term counseling and small group. Again, referrals for long-term support, mental health, behavioral support and interventions. They use that data to, again, identify student needs and challenges specific to the school and create effective data projects. They work to improve equity and access, achievement, and opportunities for all students, right? They do crisis response as well and have had Hope Squads now for a few more years than our elementary, so that's really wonderful. I enjoy seeing it to evolve as I go on and so what makes this year extra is, and why I'm presenting to everyone, is this year we are doing our review. So we review to Utah State Office of Education. We're presenting all our secondary schools. They're going to come out and meet with us. And so part of it is presenting to our stakeholders. And I that's why I'm so grateful for the opportunity to help people understand what it is we do. Sometimes I'll tell people I'm a counselor and they'll go, oh, well, I was never in the counselor's office. I didn't get in trouble. And I was like, well, what do you think we did? Like, I must look very aggressive, frightening. So I was like, huh? Right? But so they're going to come out, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to showcase all the amazing things we're doing. And thank you so much for your time. I just love what I do, and the people I work with. It's been great. So thank you all.
That was fun. We have an action item, and that would be the approval of a mascot. Miss Gina Butters, please.
Great board and Superintendent Stevens. I'm not the mascot. Yeah, I'm not asking for your approval, but I'm asking Principal Hal Raymond of Weber Innovation Early College High School to join me up here. And before I get started, real quick, we'll make this quick for you, but he's of average stature, but this is a mountain of a man right here. He's a great leader, and it's an honor to work with him. I want to take that opportunity to let you know how enjoyable it is to work with him. Weber Innovation Early College High School has just recently gone through a process of selecting a mascot, and this process has kind of been underway for a little while, hasn't it? And the student body and the parents of the school community have for several years been requesting a mascot. And so as per board policy 6600, we put together a committee. Our great board member Jan Burrell sat on that committee, as did Hal and community members, a couple of teachers, classified staff, and I chaired the committee as per the policy. After surveying the school community, and that encompassed all of our parents and our students and the faculty, the committee narrowed the most popular mascot choices down to number 1, the Ravens, number 2, the Rhinos, number 3, the Otters, and number 4, the dinosaurs, or dinos, I guess, yeah. Of these, the most popular vote was for the Ravens. And although we know that you ultimately decide what the mascot is going to be for Weber Innovation, we would just like to let you know that the committee unanimously selected the Ravens. We felt like it was a great fit. And I'm going to ask Hal just to read a quick narrative. This was submitted by one of those that provided input, and I think it encompasses why we've chosen the Raven, and we'll make that recommendation to you.
That narrative was, ravens are a bird frequently used in movies to depict the mysterious and intelligent. They are in fact one of the smartest creatures alive. Experiments testing the problem-solving capabilities of ravens have shown these birds have cognition on par with people, and they reference that with the National Geographic study. Our students are motivated and intellectual at Weber Innovation High School. Problem solving is one of the great aspects of Project Lead the Way and many concurrent enrollment courses, as well as early college and Ogden Weber technical classes. The Raven is an ideal mascot that represents our school's mission and our unique student body. Additionally, the Raven matches our school colors of black and purple very well.
Great board. We would request your approval for the Ravens to become the official mascot for Weber Innovation Early College High School.
Board, I'd entertain a motion to accept the committee's recommendation. So moved by Janice, second by Janice. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
You're the Ravens.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You want to do the cheer of the Ravens?
I'm not quite, we're going to work on that one. A caw? I don't know.
Jan, board member Burrell, go ahead.
I just want to appreciate how much effort and energy Mr. Raymond put into being very intentional in this process and gathering a lot of information before making that decision. So thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
That's awesome. Nice job, Mr. Raymond and Gina and those that put that together. Thank you for your time. That's awesome. Next item will be established board meeting dates for the 2022. Dr. Robert Peterson, please.
Thank you very much, President. As we do every year, now's the time to set our board meeting schedule for the next 12 months. And it's in your packet, but it's basically the first Wednesday of every month with the exception of 3 months. April is not the first Wednesday because of spring break. It's the second Wednesday. June is the second Wednesday. That also happens to be our budget hearing, and that helps to give us a little more time to prepare the budget hearing. And this year it lands on June 8th, which is well before the June 21st deadline is set by statute. And then the final month that's an exception is July. We have no board meetings in July. Now, keep in mind that this is just a schedule that we put in place. We post it. It'll go after you approve it. It'll go to the newspaper and the public notice websites we have to do. But like anything, it could be changed if it had to be changed. And then if it is changed or added to, like a special board meeting, then we advertise as prescribed by law.
Thank you, Robert. Board, you've heard the presentation by Dr. Peterson on the calendar of board meetings. I'd entertain a motion to accept. Paul, second by Bruce. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Peterson. We have an informational item. I'll turn the time over to Dr. Stevens, please.
Thank you, President. Board members, you remember last month at our study session, Commissioner Gage Frower visited with some of his team from economic development in the county and presented some information relative to the potential reinvestment agency in far western Weber County. And the county is working to develop what would be about a 6,000 acre mega site that would be available for development over a period of years, tremendous opportunities for the county around job creation and so forth. But they're in the process of trying to win the bid, if you will, of one company. It's a manufacturing company, a food manufacturing company. In fact, it was in the newspaper, I think, today or yesterday, that gave specific information. The site that would be taken up with the manufacturing company is approximately 158 acres of that 6,000 acres. And so it's important to note that what we're talking about is only that one site of 158 acres, only a discussion with that manufacturing company. Also important to note that right now, of course, that land is in the Greenbelt. And if you're able to parcel out that 158 acres, Weber School District is collecting $9 a year on that 158 acres. There's a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, that is in your board book, and county attorneys as well as Heidi Alder have reviewed the MOU. The MOU is not a final commitment in any way. Like I said, the county has not yet won the bid. This is just indication that as a school board, you have expressed a desire to want to negotiate with the county, supportive of that concept. That's the essence of the informational item. The MOU does not require board action. It doesn't require a vote at this time. Should the county win that bid with the manufacturing company, then we would negotiate with the county and ultimately develop an interlocal agreement that would have the specifics, the terms, and so forth. So again, this is just an MOU saying that we're very supportive of the county's efforts around the redevelopment project, and certainly would be willing to negotiate if that bid were awarded to the company that is interested in it.
Any questions, board? Thank you, Dr. Stevens, for that. We look forward to hopefully some good news very shortly on that. Board, we have need for a closed session. This closed session, according to the provision of the Utah Code 52-4-204 and 205, this meeting is a strategy session to discuss the character, professional competency, or physical or mental health of an individual. I believe it's a roll call vote. Dr. Peterson.
Okay, just say aye if you for in favor of the closed session, nay if you're not. Jan. Bruce. Paul. Janice.
Aye.
Doug. And John.
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you, everybody. We've come to the end of that. Thanks for your time and effort, staff, for being here, and be safe going home. And thanks for what you do for kids.